Hello there, folks. The Hello Interloper here with another Rage of Bahamut update. So, we got some pretty good news for you guys. First of all, though, I want to apologize for not making any new videos for a while. Finals week is pretty tough to deal with, but thankfully I'm going to have a lot of time to make some new videos once finals are over. Should be quite a few, and I'll also be branching out to other apps since I've been getting a lot of requests to do that. But let's talk about Rage of Bahamut right now. As you guys may know, the latest event ended not too long ago, and we got some new stuff. But unfortunately, it's obviously not the stamp campaign. They started up another one. Same old, same old. You think that they'd switch it up a little bit. But I'm going to show you what we're talking about here in terms of new things going on. And I'm going to pause right here. That's what we're talking about. Finally, after a long wait, Holy Wars is returning on December 13th. And that's actually 2 days from now. At least 2 days from the time I'm recording this. Just completely ignore this stuff. It's a ripoff as usual. But there's some things that you should probably know. Everything else is the same here. But let me click here and show you about this Holy War, because there's some new things that are being introduced, and it's rather interesting, actually. So there are some changes proposed, and just before we go over that, I'll show here the fact that you'll be able to get a Holy Powder Personal. They're getting rid of that whole special Holy Wars Holy Powder. I can't exactly remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I remember the color was red. So they're giving away personal ones now, so that way you can actually keep it if you don't use it. But from December 7th to December 13th, you'll be able to get one every single time that you log in. So that's pretty useful. They won't go away at the end of the Holy Wars, and you can stockpile them if you don't want to participate during this one. So there's some other things you should know. There are new cards coming out, and the most important thing that you need to know here is about ad hoc orders. Not entirely sure what that means word-wise. It's another one of those words you don't hear very often. But basically, it's pretty interesting. No matter if you are in a order or not, you'll get put into an order. Here we go, Lord Arthur. Just want to quickly show that to you. Also, new item. I'll talk about that later. But let's talk about ad hoc orders, because this is pretty interesting. Everybody will be able to take part in Holy Wars. So, ad hoc orders are formed automatically during Holy Wars event periods. So, basically what that means is if you aren't in an order at the beginning of the Holy War, you'll automatically be put into an order with a bunch of people who aren't in an order. Users under level 20 can't join these orders. Only users that register their devices can join the orders. That's pretty, obvious. But even if you're invited to a regular order, an ad hoc order will form first. So if you really want to get into a order, make sure that you accept an invite quickly before Holy War starts. Otherwise, you'll be put into one. But they disband when Holy Wars is over. So think of it this way. It's a temporary order just for the event itself. And the first person who is put into the order is the attack leader, defense leader, and onward is just a regular member. So, nothing will be assigned. There isn't exactly a leader. There are no order leaders and no vice leaders. They're assigned automatically to users in the order that they join the order. So, each ad hoc order has a maximum of 25 members. So, it's pretty interesting. This is going to be a new sort of thing. You can declare war, you can donate, build walls. The only problem is all the rupees that are donated or walls built do not carry over into other orders. So all the rupees that you've donated, they'll all go away, unfortunately. Names are created automatically. I guess we can only wait and see what kind of random name generator they're going to use. And also they say that specifications may change without prior notice, but that's most likely not going to happen. I'm going to quickly jump backwards and quickly tell you about this new card. Actually, wait, no, I have a section in the future for that, so I'll just do that instead. Before we go into that, though, there are some differences from the last Holy Wars. They've obviously taken into consideration a lot of things, And the ad hoc orders are definitely new. But there's some new things. Of course, it's Evanescent Holy Powers, that's what they were called. So they won't be given out anymore. You get Holy Powder Personals now, so you can keep them forever. Vice leaders can now build walls, and during Holy War events, you can't do the following. So you can't join an order, you can't leave an order, you can't request to join an order, you can't cancel your request. You can't approve or deny join requests. You can't create an order, can't disband, can't kick members out. Can't appoint a new leader, can't nominate yourself to be leader, can't take over as leader, and can't change roles. So quickly get all of that done before Holy War starts. Some things that will be changing even outside of Holy Wars, and this has been a long-awaited issue, I know, with the order that I was in. Order leaders now get a 5% boost to both attack and defense, which basically means that they are both an attack leader and a defense leader at the same time. Vice leaders finally get some kind of boost with a 3% boost to both attack and defense. So it's not as good as a full attack leader or a full defense leader, but it's still a boost, which gives vice leader an actual use in an order. Order buildings have a building level. Not entirely sure what that means. I guess the more walls that you build, the more of a level it has. I'm not entirely sure, but effects above apply to regular battles, not just Holy War battles. I don't really know what... Oh, regular battles. Like, when you're just attacking, normally you get that boost. Okay, so that pretty much makes a lot of sense. This is going to be permanent changes, and plans may change without prior notice, blah, 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 but, you know, that never really happens. So, that's what you need to know about the new Holy Wars, but there's also a few other changes, or should I say additions. Every single realm has gotten a new Holy Wars card, and the interesting thing about this is that they're using another kind of money-making gimmick. In this Holy Wars, and only in this Holy Wars, will this new card, known as High Werewolf, which is, it's about time that they added it, since they already have a normal werewolf, and they have a high normal version of werewolf. It's always good to have a whole series. It's interesting. But during this Holy Wars only, when you get the final evolution, you get 10%, well, normally it gives 10% extra Holy War points, but it's 25 when you have the fully evolved version. It turns into Great. So, a 25 is at skill level 10. So, unless you're actually going to fully evolve this and get to skill level 10, you will not get the 25% boost. And then, of course, once this Holy Wars is over, you no longer have that boost. So, it'll just be normal, like, Witch Commander. So, if I go down here, it's saying about Luminous Night, but it says here, the skill boost for the final evolution is only valid during Holy War's rebirth. So then later will turn to a big effect, not a great effect. In other words, they're just trying to take more money out of you, which is expected of Rage of Bahamut at this point. Here we go. This is Luminous Night. This is the man version. Gotta say, the art's pretty good on these. And then we have the Gods version, which is coming up in a moment. I'm not sure why it was so laggy when I did that. But yeah, he looks like a centaur guy. Kieran, something like that. But it's kind of funny because from here I thought he was some kind of lion man. Not exactly the best little version, but here you can see it's just flowing crazy hair with a cape in the background. And it looks like he's holding a giant scroll, not exactly sure why. But that's basically what's going on with Rage of Bahamut. Finally, we get a Holy War. So that's something to look forward to if you're still playing the game. And we do have some questions and answers over here. So somebody asks, their name is Roxas, they ask, can you do a Lord of the Dragons current events video? Sorry that this isn't a Rage of Bahamut question, just thought that maybe you can help explain a little bit on things going on since I heard from your video that you play it. That's a very good question, and actually I will probably do that in the future. As I said, I want to branch out to other apps, especially because I don't really play Rage of Bahamut myself anymore. And Legend of the Dragons is definitely one that I would like to make videos of. Unfortunately, I've kind of been on a little bit of time constraint recently, especially with finals. And it might be a little while before I get to something like that, but right now I do have some raw footage that I'm going to be turning into videos pretty soon. I do have raw footage of Reign of the Dragons, kind of a little tutorial, so to speak, or preview. I also have Blood Brothers Special Dungeons footage, and I'm going to be turning those into videos pretty soon, and then I'm going to be getting on some other different apps, and Lord of the Dragons is definitely one I want to get to, so keep an eye on it. Dick's Lover 1992, a little bit TMI there, says, since high rare cards are now worthless, should I sell it or enhance? A lot of high rare cards aren't exactly worthless now. Their worth has gone down. Honestly, from any cards right now, I would kind of hold them for a while. Because as much as I would like to, of course, sell my cards, get some holy powder, I kind of think that the economy does have a chance of recovering at some point. I don't really think that it's hit rock bottom and will stay there forever. So, I'd say enhance it, wait a little while. If the price doesn't go up, just go ahead and sell it. But, you know, it's always worth waiting a little bit, seeing if prices change, because prices do change from time to time. TJH9920 asks, why is the same person on the top 10 battle ranking all the time? Are they cheating or not? Well, that's actually a really good question, and one thing to take into consideration is that a lot of these players, especially the top players, they either have a huge disposable income. I know somebody on Lord of the Dragons who literally drops at least $100 a week on the game. But of course, you know, they're super duper rich, or they have a crazy rich spouse or huge inheritance, so they can go ahead and do that if they want. I'm not saying there's a problem with that, but not something I would personally do. So you got a lot of heavy spenders that just spend because they have the money. But then you have the people that unfortunately do cheat. Those are the people that have multiple accounts. You know, they're running a whole 100-account operation on their jailbroken iPhone or iPod or Android or whatever. Not entirely sure if you could do it with an Android, but I do know you could do it with an iPod or iPhone. But so they have holy powder coming from all these different accounts, just from leveling, killing bosses, and whatever. They all funnel into one account, and they can go really far. So that's another possibility. But mostly what you have is a lot of real money traders, and these are the people who buy holy powder from other players themselves. So instead of buying from Cygames for, you know, one holy powder for $1 each, or a reduced amount, they're buying holy powder for a quarter each from another player. It's a very risky thing to do, but on the other hand, it's a cheaper way to go. So you got a lot of people doing that too. What each player uses, who knows? But usually the top 10 people are always the same just because they are always spending money or spending way too much time on Rage Bahamut cheating. So it's definitely possible that there are a lot of cheaters. Definitely possible, especially because I know that I remember there was a report on the NeoSeeker forums saying that this one person who was one of the top 10 actually had a scam going on with their boyfriend. Their boyfriend would go on websites where real money trading would take place, pretend to buy things, and then never send the money. So they would get, you know, all this crazy amount of holy powder and cure waters, and they would never pay for it, because they would say, okay, well, you send it first and then I'll pay. That's another reason why real money trading is very risky, because you never know if you're going to get what you asked for. But what they used to do is then the boyfriend would give it to them, and then from there, that person would be using it to get a really high battle ranking. You know, you could say that's pretty romantic. Oh, you scammed for me, but really, it wasn't worth it, because once it got out that they were a scammer, especially through all the forums, you know, word travels pretty fast. They ended up retiring and ended up leaving their top guild. Not gonna name names, but I do remember there was a whole controversy with them. And apparently, if you posted on their wall, or not wall, what is it called? Support wall, they would block you, which was hilarious. So guilty, and that's why they quit. But another person asks, can you please explain or show how to evolve Aqua referral card? Thanks. Now, I looked up Aqua, and I have to say, I honestly have no idea how to evolve this one. There is an algorithm here of some sort that was posted. This is on the Rage of Bahamut wiki, by the way. And honestly, I really can't make heads or tails of it. Um, I really wish I did understand this, but I'm never really was good at math and statistics. So, if you can make heads or tails of this, it might be useful. But one thing that I've noticed is that the wiki does not give you information about the final evolution, just these evolutions. And I do know that over here, Aqua has 5 different stages. Little Aqua has 5 different stages. Maiden Aqua has, well, it says here, ooh, that's a lot. 8 different stages. And then finally you get Udine Aqua. Udine, whatever. But then they don't show the max stats. So I did do a little bit of digging here. And it looks like they took this from the Japanese version. The base attack and base defense, and that's from a 19 card Evo, is that. And then the max attack here, it says it's 11k, 11.7k, and about 10.8k for. Wait, max attack and max attack. I guess this one's supposed to be defense, but they just didn't change it. So, this person here complained that it was so weak, but if you can see here, it does have a massive boost to God's attack and defense, which is a 15% increase without any skill levels added on. So at skill level 1, it's a 15% increase. That's actually pretty good. It's not bad, especially because the attack and the defense are pretty close to each other, so it can serve as either an attack or a defense card. But with a 15% boost, that's pretty nice. I honestly don't think that's such a bad card. How to evolve it properly, I have no idea. I do know that with Schoolgirl Mina, there was a cap to the amount of stats. So even if you used so many cards, it would always end up being the same maximum stats to a certain point. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to explain how to do it, I don't really know myself. Ryan Stav asks, I have a Satan wall. What is a good defense to go along with my attack deck? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by Satan wall. I'm guessing that you have 5 Satans. Unfortunately, I'm kind of rough around the edges when it comes to some more recent Rage of Bahamut terminology. I'm actually going to look up Satan here so I can double check his stats. If I do remember correctly, I think he has an attack hit ability. And of course, this is taking forever. Oh, internet. Well, before I go into that, then, I'm going to answer the last one. It says, hello, I recently became an order leader. Could you give me some tips how to be a good leader, and what's the best way to prepare for Holy Wars? Thank you. Oh, that's a really good question. If you've recently become an order leader, you want to kind of try to pump up your members, say that, you know, you guys are going to try hard this Holy Wars. And first things first, you want to assign attack leaders and defense leaders. So you want to ask your members their stats. And the people who have the top attack, you're going to give them attack leader. Your best defense person, you give them the defense leader. And make sure that your defense leader does have a lot of holy powder, because the thing is, when you get attacked a lot, your defense goes down, of course, your defense power. And that can be pretty catastrophic, because then you have cards dropping out of your defense deck, and then eventually the opposite team is going to break through. So for a defense leader, it's just as important that they have holy powder in addition to people who are attacking. One thing that might really help is to set a sort of a goal for every member to have a certain amount of holy powder, expendable holy powder, to use during the battle. So depending on how good your order is, you might want to say, okay, well, I want everyone using at least 20 holy powder this holy war. And you might want to check all your members, see if they have 20, and of course you might not be able to have that goal be reached by every member, but if you can get a majority of them to stick to some kind of goal, that'll be really good, because as much as, we'd like to think that a good order can just be off of pure brute strength, it really doesn't work that way. If you don't have holy powder or don't use any holy powder, it's really unlikely that you're going to get very far. Because attack power, defense power, it recovers pretty slowly. I mean, since holy wars in new battle can start every hour, and it takes, I don't know how long, for somebody who has a really good deck, it might take, 110 attack power. And if you don't have any archive boosts, that's 110 minutes for your attack power to go back up and get another attack in. So setting some kind of goal for holy powder usage for every single member is definitely a good thing. And keep in mind that, of course, it could be personal holy powder. It could be any holy powder. But kind of say, you want this amount in reserve. And then, of course, just be friendly and accommodating. If somebody says, I can't make it to the battles today, I have a doctor's appointment, or my mom is sick, or my grandma died, be understanding. Because as much as, this game can be fun and serious, it's still a game. You want people to feel comfortable in your order, and then they're more likely to stick around in the long run. The last thing that you want is, people running off because they say you're a bad leader, or you kicked them out and they were actually a good leader but just couldn't make it to one day's battle or something like that. So that's basically the tips that I have for that. Now, back to Ryan Stab's question. Let me look at Satan here. Satan. Okay, so he has massive boost for attack. Okay, so he's an attack card. He doesn't have a hit to attack. He has a boost. So if you have Satan in your attack and you're asking what is good def to go along with that, yeah, Satan's definitely a good attack card. For defense, unfortunately, I don't really know that much about defense, because, last thing I did before I really stopped playing was trying to build a, attack, what is it called? Deck out of, SRs evolved into SSRs. Let me quickly open up Rage of Bahamut. I know this is probably not the best idea. Actually, I'm sure I could find something on here. There's so many new cards that have been coming out. It's been rather tough to keep track. Oh boy, everything closed down. Well, you know what? I'm going to take some time to look it up. Rage of Bahamut. And quick reminder, there aren't really cheats or hacks for Rage of Bahamut. I've been having a lot of people attempt to start new hack rumors on my video, and that's been kind of annoying, because obviously there are none. They're just trying to get items from people. Now, let me see. So I'm assuming you're demons, so I will go to card list. Oh, actually, look at that. I never knew there was a final stats list. So let's look at... Oh, factions, demons, perfect. So if we're looking for defense, looks like Dark Alice has the most defense here, but we're not looking for legend cards. So it seems that Azidahaka has a pretty nice... Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's attack. I'm very sorry. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me go back here. Sorry, I'm kind of wasting a little bit of time here, but this is kind of new. I never saw final form list. Oh boy, slow internet. Here we go. So this is defense. And, oh, these are different evolutions. Okay, I get it. Took me a moment here. So we're looking at demons 6 stars here, and now that's the thing about demons. There aren't really a lot of strong defense cards. We do have Medusa. Medusa has a pretty good ability, massive hit to foe's attack, and its defense is fairly high. Unfortunately, it is one of the more expensive cards. I'm going to go down here. So the massive hit to foe's attack all is a 15% attack. So That is a pretty good defense card. Now, let's see if there's any that have a higher defense than Medusa. Actually, it looks here that out of all the 6-star cards, Medusa does have the highest defense. Second highest would be Queen Vampire. And there's Queen Vampire. Massive hit to foe, man's attack. So that's a little more specified, unfortunately. So, you know, it's good against a man deck, but, you know, there's no guarantee that you're going to be fighting a man deck every single time. So from here, it looks like Medusa really is the best choice, although it's kind of expensive. If you really don't know what else to get, there is Cerberus, which is good as either an attack or a defense, and has kind of the same stats for both, a little more attack than defense, but all the other alternatives really aren't that great. You have a lot of attack cards that are SS rares, unfortunately. See, like Massive Boost to attack, Massive Boost to attack. Medusa really is the only one that has Massive Hit to foe's attack. And then you have Massive Hit to foe's defense. But then you have dual use cards. Dark Dragon, I think, is one of the cheaper ones, if I remember correctly. And is dual use. Massive Boost to Demon's attack and defense. So it's an okay defense. It's not as good as Medusa. So my best recommendation is, if you have the Holy Powder, go with Medusa. But otherwise, go with the other ones. I wish I could be a little bit more help, but unfortunately, the farthest I really got was with the high rares involved in the S rares before I went on hiatus. So anyway, that's my most recent current events and questions. Keep the questions rolling in. And until next time, guys, good luck in Holy Wars. See ya.